Hey guys, so for my topic, I will be discussing about API. So what is an API? API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is a software intermediary that allows two applications to talk to each other. So to put it simply, an API is a messenger that takes a request and tells the system what you want to do and then return the response back to us. To give a more simpler or familiar example, and this is like a common example that is being used online. When we go to a restaurant and order some food, we will be interacting with the waiter. So we will be asking questions, look at the menu and order some food and drinks, request and pay the bill and other things. So the waiter will take our order or request and brings it to the kitchen and tells them what to do. So in this example, the waiter is like protecting us or shielding us from all the complexities that is happening here in the kitchen while we are waiting for our order. The waiter is like an interface between us and all the services the restaurant offers, giving us a way to interact with the restaurant while being shielded from the complexities behind the scene or in things that are happening in the kitchen while we are waiting for our order. So in this way, the waiter can be seen as the API of the restaurant that will take our request or order and tells the system or kitchen what to do and deliver the response back to us, which is food in this case or in this example. So what are the uses of API? So basic uses of API or are for the basic uses of an API are accessing data to access data, hide complexity, extend functionality, and then security. Access data. So in the restaurant example we had, the waiter can provide you the information on the status of your order without us having to go to the kitchen. So we can always check the status of our order without us having to go check it for ourselves. And another example would be the weather app in our devices. So Google or Apple would have not gone out to like put temperature sensors all over the world, but instead these apps uses the API from third parties. So in this case, the iOS uh, uses the API from the weather channel. And the APIs allows apps and other services to exchange info. Next one be to hide complexity. So in the restaurant example, we don't need to know how to prepare or cook the perfect steak. So we just need to order one. So we don't need to know every steps that was taken to like prepare the perfect steak that we want. So for another example would be the operating systems on our computers and phones. The developers don't need to know how each operating system works. Instead, the operating systems gives these developers a bunch of APIs which simplify all these apps. So it actually helps the developers focus on the things that are important while they are um, developing all these apps for us. And next one would be to extend functionality. So we might not have realized, but APIs are all around us. You have probably seen this in your phone, asking for permission to use your location or camera. So this is made possible by the apps on our devices to notify the system through an API about how each app operates and gives them permission for their functionalities. And lastly would be security. So with the help of API, the system is able to give permission and revoke those permission given to the apps. This is good because it allows us to control our personal data, whether we allow the app or deny. One good thing is that we can always go back and revoke the permission we have given to a certain app, especially when we are no longer using the app. So, in short, APIs can act as gatekeepers, uh, protecting our personal data and giving out the apps we chose. We just need to be careful, not forgetting about the apps that we have provided our permission to like access our data. So we just need to like revoke them when we are no longer using the app. So how to use API. So APIs requires an API key. So this will be like the first step. And we will be having a demo later, a simple way on how we can integrate an API to our web page. Second, we'll be starting with an HTTP client that provides tools to help you structure requests to access existing APIs. Examples include REST client, Postman, and PAW. By building a URL from an existing API documentation, check www.programmableweb.com for a directory of tons of APIs available, which some are free and some paid. So for our demonstration, I will be actually using a free API through check this one, the developersgoogle.com. So I think the API for the Google Map is not free. So I'll be taking advantage of this one just for the demonstration, for this discussion. So you just visit developers.google.com/maps/documentation, and we'll go and click JS or JavaScript under maps. We'll go click that one. Then it will take us to this overview. So the first step will be securing an API key. So need to click this one using API keys. Then we just read through these instructions. So for under creating API keys, we need to go to the credential page. We'll go to that page, and then we'll be creating a project when we are securing API keys. So I actually made a project earlier, which is this one, the Web Development 230 class API demo. And you can just click this one, create a project. So just create it for yourself. Let's click this one. And then just make sure that you just click these APIs. Just make sure that the Maps JavaScript API is enabled. So let me see. For the sake of discussion, we'll try to disable this one first, so you guys can see how it looks like. Let me try to enable it. Go back. So this is how it will look like without enabling the Maps JavaScript API first. So you just need to click on this one, Apps JavaScript API, and then enable. So after making sure that the Maps JavaScript API is enabled, just go to credentials and then create credentials. So I actually made one earlier, and this is the one that I made. So for the sake of discussion, we'll make another one. So just click create credentials and then API key. So there's an instruction that we need to restrict the key to prevent unauthorized use. So just restrict that one. Then under API restriction, restrict, select APIs. Just select Maps JavaScript API. OK, then save. So I actually made one earlier, so we'll just delete this one. So just make sure that you copy this API that was provided to us, and then need to go back to the previous page and then click on show current location. So this is a geolocation. When you click that one, it shows that I'm here in the Philippines. So it displays the map of the user. So below there is like a bunch of codes that's provided to us. So you can just click on the JS fiddle and we'll separate like the codes into 3 separate documents. So you just copy this one, the HTML, and then I made one earlier, then paste it here. Same thing with the CSS and same thing with the JavaScript. Just make sure that you guys will change this API key just here in the HTML file, just before the end and the equal sign. And after that, we'll try to run this one real quick. So just pan to current location, and there it is. That's where I'm from, Legazpi City, Philippines. So I hope I was able to discuss this one clearly for you guys and that you're able to understand the discussion. And thank you so much. That's it.